Good evening, everyone, or whatever time zone you're in. Welcome to the GTGC Dice and Tears podcast, episode 5. A little bit later than usual, but we'll probably get into that in a little sec. So, who have we got on the podcast tonight? John, are you here?
John is here.
Sam?
Big up the GTGC.
Phil?
Oh, sorry.
Let's roll with it. Holly, are you here?
Hello.
And Luke, are you here?
Yes, hi.
Okay, so this evening we have a very special guest with us. The person I'm about to introduce to you is a member of the leadership team down at the Gloucester Tabletop gaming community. Dale, say hello.
Hello all. Lovely to be on. Thank you for having me. That sort of professional introduction is a hallmark of the GTGC podcast and club. So keeping standards high. Well done, everyone.
Thanks, Phil. Phil, you're normally a lot more responsive than that, mate. He's still confused. He still doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, where did you find this guy?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's this new cocktail.
We've actually got the whole leadership team on today.
We have. It's quite exciting because we might talk a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes later, which most of you guys won't know about, but obviously me, Dale and Phil have a little bit of inside information. We can talk about that a little bit later on in the podcast. Dale, what I want you to do though, mate, is introduce yourself, which you have done, but tell us a little bit about you around your hobby, how you found the GTGC and how your journey has gone since joining us.
Yeah, so same as most, I was a terminal loser as a young person. So played Warhammer at age 11, 12 or so. Gave it up because, tried to look cool for a little bit. Got to much later in life, my late 20s, about 29, and walking past Games Workshop, my wife looked in and said, "That looks like something you would do." Massive insult, obviously, but went with it. Walked in, bought some models, kind of got started on there, didn't really know what I was doing. And strangely, my wife then spotted an advert for the GTGC just as it was starting up. So very, very early days in our old clubhouse and everything else. And turned up, played terribly, and somehow ended up getting involved in helping to run the club.
We're looking for somebody gullible, and you just walked through the door, isn't that right, Phil?
So your wife is the impetus here for you being part of the GTGC.
She has no idea how much this costs. No,
that is amazing.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Dale. And you bring so much to the table. It's unreal. I don't know if a lot of the 40k players that are listening to this that have been down to the GTGC will know that Dale completely wrote a really cool campaign for 40k. And it had mixed reviews.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
It was really, really intuitive, and obviously we've still got that ready to bring back to the club when we fully open again. It's great having Dale aboard. Dale, very quickly though, my friend, can you just tell us about your recent lockdown haircut?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you look like a very famous Scottish comedian, a guy called Frankie Boyle. But if you'd like to quickly explain it,
can we have we been graced with the image?
I think there is one somewhere. If not, I will send it over so it can go into the program notes. But let's be honest, it was getting quite long. With the whooshiness that comes with kind of what I do, was getting frustrating. So I let my wife shave it off, not all off. Let's be honest, if the schools were open, I'd look like I'm hanging around outside one. But,
why would you be hanging outside a school, Dale?
It's just that sort of haircut. Let's be honest, that and an anorak, done.
I have nothing else to say.
Looks like Harry Potter's weird cousin.
Harry Potter, who's been committed for several months to a mental institution. That's an Azkaban haircut. Let's be really honest about it.
You do look like Frankie Boyle, mate. I promise you. It's
oh my god, it does.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But Dale,
nice.
Thank you for sharing. So guys, talking about lockdown haircuts, in our WhatsApp channel, we've had a fair few photos released, and I think Dale's is quite good. I think Chaz, his haircut is bloody extreme. I don't know if you've all seen that. Have you all seen it?
Hey, mine ain't that bad.
You look normal.
To be fair, you're starting from a very poor starting point. That's more valid. It's less the lockdown haircut. It's just it looks the same.
Some just be like Tintin.
Chaz's is absolutely horrendous.
It's like Megamind.
Image is up now, but oh man, it is bad.
I really don't think the facial expression he's pulling, look of shock and bewilderment over anything. It's bless his cotton little socks, and fair play to him, he's rocking it. So thinking about haircuts, which Primarch needs a haircut in your opinions, Dale?
I mean, the one with the longest, most flowing hair is obviously Russ himself, the Wolf Lord. But I think if you cut his hair, he would lose his power. I think that's a problem. So I'm going to have to go with Lorgar, purely because why not?
He's an emo kid.
Well, he's a bit of a dick, so...
Isn't Lorgar bald?
Pardon?
Isn't Lorgar
Actually,
bald?
he is, isn't he? Oh, shit. Yeah, he's done it.
Basically,
Dale. Okay, so Dale thinks a guy who's bald needs a haircut.
Yeah.
John?
Probably Conrad Kurz, whatever his name is, the Night Lords.
Cruz, is it?
No, it's Kurz.
It's
Is it
Kurz, yeah.
Kurz?
Yeah, he looks like he's just that kid at school that never washed his hair. He just needs a bit of a wash and a cut and
A bit greasy.
a bit greasy, yeah.
Sam?
so I actually think someone like Rogal Dawn. So I've been reading a little bit about him, and he's just too much of a military haircut. Let's get a Mohican on the go for him.
Sam,
Oh.
all I'm going to say about Rogor Dawn here, mate, yeah, all right, is as a Black Templar player, that's a haircut you can set your time to. You know what I'm saying?
Carl, you've not played Black Templars in months.
Because I've been in lockdown, bruh.
No, even before that, you haven't played them in yonks, man.
No, I played Holly and Luke just before lockdown and smashed them apart like a little kid at
Behave.
school. Do you know what I mean?
Don't think you did, but all right. Started to sweat a little bit towards the end. All went very, very quiet, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, but a win's a win. Okay, Phil?
Well, this got me thinking, because on the whole, who cuts the hair in the Warhammer 40k universe?
Good point.
What was it?
Yeah,
Because those Sisters of
goblins.
Battle, they're looking very smart.
Do you reckon
Yeah.
there's a servitor or
Oh, no, there'll be
salon
someone
they go
within the
Nah, it's
cleric
Tech
that,
Marine.
that does it for them. I can imagine.
Is there
You just
is there a girl
lobotomise someone,
called-
make them a servitor.
is there a lady called Mandy that you go to see every Friday afternoon? Does your nails at the same time? Mandy.
Someone asking the Sisters of Battle if they're going on holiday soon or what she's done.
Wait,
It could be an apothecary because they have a lot of instruments coming out of the back of them.
Yeah.
oh yeah, a lot of scissors, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
That's
I
right.
googled this, and apparently Space Marines aren't meant to grow hair.
Okay.
So all of our models are wrong.
Google has the answer to everything.
I love how
Yeah.
you checked.
I thought I'd do a bit of research.
Yeah, that's fair
That's
enough.
the kind of guy Phil is, though, isn't he? He likes to find out
Oh,
everything.
dear me.
Okay. So Holly,
Where's
She
she
there?
gone?
She's gone.
She's gone.
Luke, you're in the same bloody house. Sort it out.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Holly, question to you then.
What question?
Well,
Which
this is
prime-
going well.
Which Primarch
Oh,
deserves a haircut?
I couldn't tell you because I don't know what any of the Primarchs look like.
Just say Gazgul Fracka and we'll move on.
I feel like that's not a Primarch.
He is not Holly. Okay, no, that's fine. Luke,
Do orcs have hair?
Yeah, they do.
are they
Some of them
modelled
do.
with hair?
Some of them have mohawks, don't they? I'm sure they do.
I can't picture any orcs because they're shit. Okay, Luke.
But yeah,
All orcs look the
I'm gonna go with Magnus.
Okay, he does have a good head of
He's
hair.
got probably a bit too much hair, hasn't he? Really?
Have you ever watched the film Dodgeball,
Yes.
where the guy of the Cobra Kai's, I forget his name now. White, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sort of hair, isn't it, Magnus? That's his sort of hair, like
Yeah.
wafting in the wind. They don't make hair like that anymore, Cotton. Okay. I was going to say Rogue or Dawn because, like I keep saying, he's got a haircut. You could set your watch by. He's a great looking guy.
I just said that. You had a go at me.
You said he needed a haircut.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
He needs a Mr. Burns haircut.
What, like Luke has?
Luke's
So,
haircut is
unfortunately-
amazing.
Luke has had his haircut during lockdown. I believe Holly has done it. And a couple of comments that are thrown around that Sylvester Stallone could cliffhanger off the side of it. Picture will be linked in the actual.
I mean, let's be honest. Just to clear up any sort of miscommunication there, I didn't have a lot to start with.
Can I just say,
I
I don't think
believe-
Holly did it. I think Murphy the dog did it.
Yeah.
I believe
Looks
Holly
like
called
it.
it the reverse monk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mental image.
Okay, guys, moving on then. What's been on your lockdown workbench? Dale, talk to us what you've been doing hobby-wise.
So what I've been doing is quite frankly a stunning bit of subterfuge on my work because I'm still working. I'm working from home and actually got quite a lot of work to do. So what I've decided to do is just next to where I've got my desk and everything set up, I've set up a separate desk that is covered in my paints, models, everything. And when I'm on a Zoom chat, every couple of minutes, I'm just going to dive out of the way, lick a paint on something, come back to it. So I've actually made some really good progress while I've been off. So I'm just finishing off my 2 new Redemptor Dreadnoughts, my Space Wolves that I'm kind of finishing off. So actually probably done more painting while I've been working than I've ever done before because I'm not a natural painter, but I've actually got loads done.
Nice. Well done, mate. You're not a very confident painter, are you? So for you to hear that from you is quite nice to hear.
Yeah, it's not my starting, the thing I'm most comfortable in the hobby, but knuckle down to it, using contrast like Sam was talking about, and actually getting some results that, whilst other people might look, it's not quite as good as it could be, I'm actually still happy because at least it's better than playing in grey plastic.
Absolutely, and sometimes it's not about what other opinions people have around your painting; it's what you're with. It's your hobby, so you do with it as you like. I think it's important to always mention that. John, thank you for that, Dale. What's been on your workbench?
So I actually progressed my Tal Stealth suits with my workbench about 2 months now. Very minimally though, nowhere near finished. But I've mostly been still working around preparing D&D campaigns and Dark Heresy campaigns and playing in a few D&D games as well. So that's been most of my hobby time.
Nice. Good. Sam, what have you been doing?
So, what's on my hobby desk at the moment is some, as you've probably seen in the GTGC chat, some Sicarian infiltrators, and I've just recently got some contrast paints, and started to use them, and I actually really like them. They make it really good.
You're welcome.
Yeah, all from Luke. Cheers, mate. Big man.
Right.
What's going to be on my hobby desk is the question, because I've just delved into the world of AOS. So some Stormcast Eternals and some Nighthawks are going to be on there soon, which would be good.
So, for the uneducated, what's
Whoa.
AOS?
So it's Age of Sigmar.
Nice.
It's Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. I believe it's 2.0 now, I think. But I've been reading about it for a couple of months. Collected normal Warhammer. Just thought, you know what, I'm going to delve into it. I've read a little bit of the lore around the Stormcast Eternals. I really enjoy the lore around them. However, as soon as I put it on the chat, everyone was like, yeah, they're really boring to play. I was like, great. Okay. Thanks for that. But then with the AOS set, so I've got the Soul Wars, the Storm Strike, and the Tempest of Souls starter sets of 3 of them to make up 2 good armies because you get the Nighthaunt as well. And the Nighthaunt looks like a good army as well. So, although I haven't read into them, so I am going to read into them soon.
Awesome. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun then.
Oh,
Age of Sigmar is a game that, we've had a fair amount of people play it down the club. And it's nice to see more people getting involved in it because it's a really good system from what I can gather. And some of the models are absolutely
really
incredible. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
amazing. Like one of the on the Storm ones, the model which is on looks like a massive lion type thing.
Yeah.
Lion Phoenix thing. It just looks amazing.
Stormcast Lion Griffin.
Yeah, and
Wings,
it just
yeah.
it just looks amazing, and it looks really good, really well put. If you put it together really well, paint it, it'll look really good. And to be honest, they kind of creating a storm host kind of reminds me of custodes a little bit, which, as you know, I collect custodes.
Yeah.
And that sort
cool
of
thing about
prestige
Stormcast
thing.
is they're basically gods.
Oh
They
yeah.
come from the sky through some veil thing, a bit like gods.
Yeah.
That is
And that's
awesome.
what reminds me about custodes as well, because they look like the elite of the elite, certainly of that faction, of those group of armies in that faction. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you're getting involved in it, and hoping to see some of your models come out soon, painted and ready to rock and roll.
Oh yeah, they should be. Just to give it a quick plug, I have ordered them from our very good friends at Incom Gaming, and they should be here this week. So expect some photos on the GTGC chat.
Very good. We'll talk more about Incom Gaming later on the show. Okay, thank you for that, Sam. Phil, what you been doing, mate?
So last year we did the APOC game, and I rushed to get a host of knights painted for this. What this meant was the knights were really basic. So now I've got a bit more time at home. They've been sat on my shelf. They've been looking at me, going, "Phil, paint me." So I've got round to finishing them. But to kind of complete the army with knights, you can't really run them on their own. I mean, I suppose you could, but if you want to add the cheese to it, you need to add something on top. So I've spent the past week. In a trade, I picked up some really crappy guardsmen. Luckily, I had 31 of them. Now, as you may know, there's a nice little detachment you can take to get a whole load of CDs.
Lucky.
Yeah, so I've been painting up a group of 31 Cadian, or 32 now.
Yep.
To do the Holy 32, but these ones, they're not the Holy 32, they're the Beautiful 32.
What's that, Phil?
Why is that, Phil?
They're painted quite uniquely. So guardsmen typically...
I tell you what, a picture will come up now of why they're painted uniquely. There you go.
They are painted. So I like to think that these are the not the Cajuns, but the Neapolitans.
Nice.
I'm sure the picture will explain this. But they go well with it. And I looked at what the history behind the ice cream, and apparently Neapolitan, the ice cream was also called the Harlequin ice cream, which again ties in with my other army.
Yeah.
He's got some of the things you do when you're stuck inside, eh?
And you're bored as hell. Google comes out, and here you go. Thank you for sharing, Phil. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Holy 32 in those unique colours, and I'm sure Luca. They're beautiful 32. Because the Knights, when we played them in the APOC game about a year ago, wasn't it? It was very, very distinctive Knights. I believe you played on the Chaos side.
Yes.
And my Knights were on the other side. Very contrasting colours. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
Holly, what have you been doing hobby-wise other than working?
I've been doing Dark Elder, and I'm trying to get through it, but because I'm doing the red edge of stuff, it needs to be perfect, and it can't just be okay. It needs to be perfect. So I need to get the motivation back to do it, because I know I'm going to sit there for hours on one model, and I'll do this little tiny guy. It'll take me like 4 hours, but then it'll look amazing. But I just need to get into that frame of mind to sit down and not get annoyed that I've put red in the wrong freaking place.
It's good to see another Dark Elder play.
Well, I mean, I haven't actually done anything. I mean, they're literally just been painted. I haven't really played. So, I'll get there eventually.
Brilliant. Thank you, Holly. Luke, what have you been up to hobby-wise?
I haven't done I'm nearly done. Don't think I'd ever say that. I'm nearly done. I've nearly finished everything I own.
Even with sisters?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
no. You were doing the stupid St. Catherine model the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, I've nearly finished it.
Oh, where's the pictures, Luke?
It's not finished yet. And magnetising stuff it's just a nightmare.
Oh, massive! I generally don't think anyone has ever said I've nearly finished.
Well, if you remember, I don't know if you were at the club at that point, Sam, but I did a 13-hour painting marathon and painted and based nearly all of it in one day.
Wow, flipping ass of achievement.
And then I had a massive hiatus for like 3 months.
Yeah, I would have.
I'm enough of this. No more painting.
Yeah, but that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
do you remember that? Just because it was the
Yeah.
day of the release.
Yeah,
think so,
I
like that.
remember.
But yeah, no,
I mean,
I'm nearly done. I've just got a few of the Harry Potter models to finish and do, and then that's it. I'm ready for a new project.
Luke, all I'm going to say is you're not doing it right if you haven't got at least 4.
I know, man. Yeah.
That's hilarious, Sam. So, hobby-wise for me, thank you for that, Luke. What I've been doing, I picked up a fair amount of Imperial Guard again the other day, but I've been trying to crack on with my craft world, get that sorted, because I want to get most of that done before the end of lockdown.
Okay, we're gonna have a quick interval break because at the moment all we've got is pinging because everyone's trying to get rid of Chaz's face on
Yes,
the.
it was quite scary in the Discord chat.
Are you all done? You got out your system.
I genuinely felt like he was judging me. That's all.
And what I'll do is I will keep that picture up there until we move over to the next side so that everyone else can feel that pain. just in the corner.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so it's really good to hear that you guys are cracking on with your projects. It's really nice to hear that. So, what has the community as a whole been playing recently? I mean, me, Phil, and Luke are involved in an online Blood Bowl tourney. We'll have a little chat about that in a second. But, what other games you've been playing, Dale?
I've been repping it like it's 2005 all over again. I've played more World of Warcraft than is good for a human being to play. Same thing, actually. I've got it on the other desk next to me while I'm working, just on phone calls, just playing. No shame, absolutely no shame at all. Not even very good at it anymore. Used to be quite good, not now. But yeah, that's kind of it in terms of games. Not much else, unfortunately. What with 2 kids and homeschooling and working, it's not had that much time for it.
Oh yes, but at least you're doing something. It breaks the monotony up a little bit.
I don't know. World of Warcraft is pretty monotonous. I could pick almost any other game, but I'm still doing it.
John, anything you've been doing?
So a game called DCS World, which is a flight sim, has recently made all of its modules free for a month. So I decided to try and learn to fly a Spitfire in that, and it's not going well. I think I sent a photo the other day saying "Come here, Fritz," and about 30 seconds later, it's in a flat spin, crashing to the ground.
Is that an actual? Is that if, for example, if we went on holiday together and the aeroplane, we were in a Spitfire, which wouldn't happen because it's only got 1 seat.
That's a bit weird going on holiday in a Spitfire.
If it did, and you weren't flying, could you effectively get in the cockpit and fly us to safety?
No.
Well, to find this photo of him in a very weird spin, I'm going to say no as well.
Okay, Mark, carry on.
It's more like grab the parachute and get out.
Yeah, sorry, Luke. Bye.
Sam, any games you've been playing?
So I got a couple I've been playing. So I've been switching my time between in my spare time because my daughter obviously takes up a lot of my time. I've been switching between Elder Scrolls Online, which I'm just got back into recently.
Nice.
I'm really getting back into it. Love the Elder Scrolls universe. A game called Stranded Deep. I don't know if any of you have heard about that. Basically, you have a plane crash flown by John, probably, and you land on a desert island and you've got to survive. And then I've been playing a game called World of Warships, which Carl, you're very familiar with.
Woo-woo!
It is an amazing game, and I've just finally moved up from tier 8 to tier 9, which, Carl, as you know, that's near the top tier now, which is a really good place to be. It does, however, mean I'm facing some bigger ships as well and getting destroyed quite a lot. I'm playing players that are, luckily, with World of Warships Online, whether it be on the Xbox or the PC, the match play is quite good. It only goes by your skill level. So I'm only playing just to shit people, which is really cool because it means I'm not getting destroyed. I did go into a ranked game, however, and I was out within about 20 seconds. Don't
I
think
like
I want to
ranked.
play that game.
I like ranked though, Sam, because like with World Warships, you can like if you're a tier 9, you can either face tier 10 or tier 7, because you go 2 up, 2 down.
Yes.
In ranked, you'll only ever face tier 9 ships, so you kind of know what to expect. There's a little bit like, say for example you're in like a Fletcher, a Fletcher, which is tier 9 American DD destroyer. In normal battles, you can face up against tier 10s or tier 7s, which is but at tier 9, the Fletcher's quite amazing. So ranked's quite good for those sort of ships. You just know what you're playing in it. But it's a great game, and I'd recommend it to anyone. You don't. It's
free. That's the main thing.
Free to download, free to play. Obviously, with these free to play games, you can premium it and sort of like get more XP, more credits. But it's a game I've been playing since they launched it, and I just like Sam just said, I'd recommend it highly.
I also like the fact that during lockdown, they are doing a lot for the players that play it. So every week you got this thing called crates, and every week they seem to be giving out a crate to people that have premium in it, that have ships in it, that give you things like camouflage and stuff. And without going too much into it, because there's a lot of mechanics in the game, but for a game to do that during lockdown, knowing what the world's going through at the moment, I think that is pretty decent.
They're good guys as well, the WoW players. Okay, thank you for that, Sam. Phil, anything you've been playing, mate?
Yeah, man. We've been doing the Blood Bowl, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
We're in the what's the league called? It's the
Google GTGC Lockdown League.
The Lockdown League, yeah.
Lockdown League. Got Lockdown League.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had the first week, the first round of games this week, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, I got battered by Tom. He was very nice to me. He allowed me to score a touchdown because I like to go wide and pass it, because I play it American football style, and I think he allowed me to do it just to make me feel better about myself, because he battered me for the entire game.
So, what team were you playing? What team was he playing?
He was playing halflings, and I was playing my humans. I call them the Dodge Fathers. At one point in the game, like literally, guys, right? I promise you, right? He said, "Carl, I'm gonna do something now, right?" I said, "Oh, what's that, mate?" He goes, "I'm gonna get my tree man to fucking fire my halfling across the pitch and score a touchdown." I'm like, "All right, Billy Big Balls, show me." And he did it, and that was it. And I was like, "Oh, he's just rubbing it in my face now." It was brilliant.
That's it. And Luke and I had the game as well. Luke, how did that go?
Well, I might as well tell them. I sustained a sporting injury during.
This is fucking brilliant.
Did you pick too hard?
During the match, physically. So obviously, I'm just sat down on my computer with Phil, and the match is pretty good. I play the YLCA, which is the Young Lizards Community Association, and they were rolling terribly, like absolutely appalling. But I managed about halfway through to score a touchdown, and I was so happy about it. I jumped up from my sofa and sort of air punched the air. Subsequently doing that, I actually tore a muscle in my neck. And also about 4 or 5 days prior to that, I hurt the other side of my neck. I don't know how I did that, can't remember. But so I've been sleeping upright for the last week, trying to get it better. It is better now. It's just that any sort of physical activity, cleaning my body goes, what the hell are you doing? No, that's not how we do this. But yeah, no, I really hurt myself. So that sucked. And I started to panic halfway through the match because I went really quiet and I went, "I'm sorry I'm going quiet, Phil, but I think I might have broken my neck." And he's just going, "All right, yeah, okay. It's your go." It's literally freaking out and trying not to let Phil know because I wanted to carry on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I really enjoyed it.
And who have we got in this league, Phil? It's me, you, Luke, Tom, Phil, and Dan. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's good fun, guys. It's good fun. And Tom's sort of like heading the league up, and his sort of write-ups are quite funny. Yeah, no, it's really good, really good. Anything else you've been playing, Phil?
No, that's it really. I just been painting. That's it.
Nice. Holly, anything you've been doing computer gaming wise?
Well, no, not computer, but on the console, I've found Don't Starve, which I absolutely freaking love. And I don't really know if I'm playing it right, but you just got to survive basically and kill shit and build shit, and I love it. And I could sit there and play it for hours and not
What's it
realise that
called?
hours have gone by. Don't Starve.
Okay.
I've
That's
seen
it.
this. The art style is really nice, isn't it?
It's like a
Yeah,
Tim
it's very
Burton-esque
satisfying.
style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to do shit. Otherwise, things attack you, and it's just like there was like basically just a big pair of legs with an eyeball, and it just squats over the top of you and kills you. Terrifying. And there's like a massive dragonfly that's like on fire, and I mean the monsters in that run fast, like, and you just have to keep running. But yeah, it's great. It's addictive.
Nice.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh, that sounds good fun. Thank you for that, Holly. Luke, what you been doing game-wise, computer game-wise, other than the Blood Bowl League, obviously?
Oh yeah, that recovering. I tell you what, I've been sort of making myself like a video game sort of marathon, because there's lots of games that I have the force of habit of playing a game to its bare minimum, like a storyline, and then never touching it again. Or I'll play a game obsessively for about 3 months, get really into it, and then like Sam Warhammer Armies, and then just stop and just do something else, or another game will come out. So what I've been doing is I played God of War, the reboot God of War game when it first came out, and completed it to its bare minimum. But that game, if anyone hasn't played it, is amazing. It's so good. So I'm playing through that. I'm also going to start playing through Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, I played that obsessively for about 3 months and then just stopped. And everyone knows that's a very good game. And The Witcher 3. I played that when it first came out, which was 2017, and I've never completed it. And anyone who's played that game knows that I should be castrated for not completing it.
Have you played 1 or 2 though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've played all of them.
But did you complete them?
I might not have completed the first one because that was on PC, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I completed that. The second one was on Xbox 360. Can't quite remember. Yeah, definitely did that one. But yeah. So I need to complete the third one. I've got all the DLC for it as well. But at the moment, I'm finishing off God of War because God of War is awesome.
Okay.
It's a good game.
So, yeah.
I don't think I played a little bit of it, but it didn't really sort of I didn't really get involved in it. Maybe I need to give it a little bit more time.
Mate, it's Vikings, it's Nordic gods, it's Odin, it's Thor. It's amazing.
So it's pretty cool then.
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Luke. So what I've been doing game-wise, I haven't played obviously any 40k or anything like that, but what I have done recently is started playing EVE Online again.
What's that, Carl?
So EVE Online is an online MMOG. I've been playing it since 2004. So with the same character. So I've been playing it for a very long time. But I haven't really got back into it for the past year. So I thought I'll give it another go. And I've joined a corporation called Air. So in EVE, basically you've got a character. Generally you're joining a corporation. That corporation will be part of an alliance. And that alliance probably be part of a coalition, which controls a massive area of space, and you just duke it out with people. There's other bits and pieces in it, but I'm always up for the PvP. And yeah, I'm going to give it a go. They're called Air. The alliance is called the Initiative. And basically, it's been going for a long time, and it's made by a company called CCP over in Iceland. And basically, you can have in online space battles between thousands of pilots duking it out over a space station or a bit of territory, and it does have real life consequences with monetary value. So if anyone. Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Have you played the one where you can fight on the ground? It was a standalone
Dust.
On the PS3, yeah, the Dust game.
It was awful.
But it was terrible.
The politics of the EVE Online game as well.
Yeah, basically what you could do with Dust, they've got something on EVE Online called Planetary Interaction, where you can mine resources from planets, and you could basically have a corporation dust and sort of coordinate your attacks on the planet, which is really cool in theory, but it just never really made it.
No, they could have done so much more with that.
Yes, yeah. But I've just got back into that.
Nice.
And I'm kind of enjoying it. My character has so many skill points, and there's nothing I can't really fly in the game. So I'm just having a bit of fun getting back into it. And I've decided to go away from. So there's normally a group of us that we play constantly for the last 15 years. But I've decided to go away from them a little bit and do something on my own for a change. And I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, it's good fun. Okay. Guys,
we just mentioned why nobody's mentioned Animal Crossing, because we know everyone playing that game.
I've only played. I
No.
literally have played the first. Oh God, 10 minutes.
And I'll
Just because.
shout out Tom,
Yeah.
who was on the podcast last, because apparently he's lost his missus to it.
It's quite
his
good.
missus is now
Enjoying
yes.
it.
weird.
I don't get the fascination. My mate Adam's playing it quite a bit as well. It's just called Get Kelly involved in it. She's gonna love it. And Cal's like, no, I just want to play Splatoon or Mario
you play,
Kart.
don't you?
Splatoon is good though.
Yes.
We've lost Dale.
Oh, Dale, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, he's here.
Oh,
Okay.
Dale, you play Animal Crossing, don't you?
No.
Oh,
Just watching
Carry
join
on.
in.
carry on.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Slap
No.
you downstairs.
Okay,
Yep.
so what we're going to do now then, guys, we're going to go into the Q&A
Ooh, I like
section, which is probably everyone's favourite part of the podcast. Because we haven't done one of these podcasts for a couple of weeks, because we've had a bit of hiatus, enjoying the sun, enjoying the beers, and sort of just relaxing a little bit, sort of coming up with a different type of structure. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. So the questions we have, so first one, Ian, one of the guys that plays Blood Bowl a lot down the club. What 40k armies would you recommend for a complete novice? Are there some that you should avoid if it's your first ever outing into 40k?
Oh, this
Space
is a good one.
Marines.
This is a
Dale?
good one.
So my thinking on this is there's no army you should completely avoid, because if it's something you like the lore of and the look of, you'll invest your time to learn it and therefore come out of it the other side with the knowledge of how to play it, because how they play should, theoretically at least, fit with their aesthetic and their lore.
If that was a
Saying
comment
that, if-
dodge answer, I don't know what was.
No. Wait.
No,
There's the follow-up.
right,
There's the
right.
follow-up.
Oh,
However,
the padding.
yeah, if you've then got, if the lore's not important and you're just trying to pick an army that is easy, you're going to get everything from it, going to be very forgiving to mistakes, realistically it's going to have to be Marines. So Space Marines, just because you can kind of start off with one of the box sets, you're going to be able to play in any direction. They can fulfill every single role in the game. Probably better than most of the specialists can, which is why so many people play Marines. If you're looking for a more challenging first army, though, I would say something along the lines of Craftworld. A little bit more difficult, perhaps. However, very different, very fun, very rewarding, and equally can do something in every phase of the game as well. So it kind of suits that. You don't have to decide straight away where you want your army to end up.
No, fair points. Like it, John.
Probably Marines. I really don't know enough about 40k to give advice.
Okay. You're not going to mention Tau, like,
No one should play Tau. Not even I should play Tau.
You're absolutely right, John. Sam?
So,
Sam hasn't held an army long enough to comment.
but as a new
Yeah, but
player,
he's owned them all.
Sam,
That's true.
actual genuine
as a new
question.
player,
Genuine question, Sam. Have you ever played the same army more than twice?
yes, Blood Angels.
How many times? 3.
No, every game I've played at the club has been Blood Angels.
Free.
So every game you played.
3.
4.
How many games have you played?
4. How many times do I have to say 4?
Oh.
At least one more time.
Anyway, 4. Anyway, as a new player, I agree with what Dale says, okay, in the fact that I didn't read the lore when I went into an army. And of course, I chose them basically on looks. So I chose a Blood Angel. Now, after reading the lore, I've now switched over to Custodes because I've read a few of the books, I've read a few of the Horus Heresy, I've read a few of the excerpts about certain books that I want to pick up. And I think reading the lore is very important to choosing your army. Now, I wish I'd taken Chip's advice from Incom, because when I first went in there looking for an army, he said, read the lore, go away, read what army you think is going to be best, then decide. I was so keen to get into it, and I didn't know a lot about it. I walked over to Warhammer, and the first thing they said to me was, yep, here's a Dark Imperium box set. Absolutely brilliant. Here you go. That'll get you into the game.
Oh, they bamboozled you with sales techniques.
They did.
Yep.
They did. Now, they said, here's a Dark Imperium box set. That will get you into the game. So, immediately, we all know what's in the Dark Imperium box set was Death Guard.
I mean,
and
they're not
Marines.
wrong, though, are they?
They're not wrong. It will get you into the game, but it doesn't give you... You don't learn a lot about the lore. And I think, certainly in this environment, in the 40k environment, that is so important to how you choose your army and how you play your army. Now, I've been playing since January, as you all know, and I've started reading a lot more of the books. They all got me into the first book. I say read, it was on Audible, so listen to. And it really gets you thinking about how you want to play your army and how they play compared to the lore that they're in. So that changed my mind. So my biggest advice to anyone getting into it would be to do your research. Don't do what I did and end up buying an army that I spent a lot of money on to ultimately not play because I didn't like the way they played. So there you go.
Okay, fair enough. Phil? Knights. Go on, why?
Look, you've got about 4 models.
Yep.
Loads of guns. And that's what the game's about. Rolling a few dice, killing a few things, having a laugh. And if you don't like that,
I think Phil, we've got
Play Blood Bowl.
we've got 3-word Phil tonight.
Awesome.
We've got 3-word Phil tonight. You boom straight to the point. That's it. No more. Knights. Boom. Dice.
If not knights, let's take it old school. Orcs.
Yeah, but Carl, I disagree with that. Have you not seen the chat about orcs?
Oh.
This is next army.
No. No. Holly, thank you for that, Phil. Holly?
So because we all know that orcs are the best, no, well, I don't really know a lot about different armies, but because I've had orcs and I found them relatively easy to just crack on and just fuck shit up, since having Dark Elder and I've read the book and I've gone, oh my god, this is really hard. There's a lot to read. There's a lot to understand. And I've just sort of gone, fuck, why have I... So, like, I find orcs easy, but then I probably don't really understand everything to do with orcs. And then I find Dark Elder at the moment really freaking difficult and mind-boggling.
I can understand that. Yeah, I get it.
There's just so much. There's, like, so many layers, like an onion.
Yep. Like an onion.
I like that.
Okay, so, Holly, you're suggesting start with orcs and avoid Dark Elder?
Don't avoid Dark Elder, because, you know, whips and chains. But, like, they're a bit harder to understand.
Yes. Yeah, no, I get that, because with Dark Elder, back in 7th and 6th, they were the whipping boys of 40k in a sense, and in 8th they've become actually very, very good and very competitive. But if you haven't gone through the pain of 6th and 7th with them, you might not fully understand how they operate and how to get the synergies working. Okay, Luke.
Aye. Okay, so starting army, I would probably go with. I think you're right, and what you've all said is that Space Marines. But in my opinion, Space Marines are dull, man. That's one army that it's just not. In my opinion, it's just not interesting enough. Because half of GW's line is taken up with bloody Space Marines.
Yeah. Is that why you recently bought Imperial Fists?
Yeah. Is that why you got your Imperial Fists?
Hey. I had a plan for them, all right? I just wanted to challenge, though, didn't I? I wanted to paint stuff yellow. I've given up now.
You got fed up of painting yellow, didn't you?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
I've had enough of this.
I would say, easy army. If I go back to when I first started again in 8th edition, I went straight for Tyranids, and that was a bad idea because it's a high model count. I'd say avoid anything that has a high model count, simply because you'll get bored of it very quickly. Yep. I wouldn't. It's a sweet spot though, isn't it? Because you don't want to go for something like Custode straight away, because that's an elitist army, and you don't have a huge amount, and you'd have to spend a huge amount of money. I would say maybe AdMech is a good option. They're cool looking. They have some. I've never played them, so I can't really comment. They will be the one to answer that question.
They have actually got some difficult rules, AdMech.
Yes.
I've recently been looking at the codex of them because I've acquired a nice little 1,000-point army of AdMech, and they have got some really. I mean, there's some stuff in there that I get confused at. Now, I am a new player, so older players might find them easier, but for me, it was reading them. I was like, oh, okay, and it's all because of the Forge world they're from. It is very. There's a lot of technical stuff in AdMech.
Yeah, you can get some good synergies with the canticles and your forge world that you're on. So again, like you said, Sam, it's about that understanding of them, isn't it?
AdMech can work really nicely, very easily indeed. If as long as you play as Mask, you take yourself some tech freeze, throw a call in there, throw some robots in there. You throw down Wrath of Mars and things die. The only thing is it's not very mobile. So if you're actually trying to play to win a game, you're kind of relying on tabling, or you've got to chop and change it a little bit. And it's just, that's where Marines are more forgiving in that your movement's not impacting your ability to do anything at all, literally nothing for most chapters. Whereas with AdMech, you're suffering if you start moving.
I've decided one. Okay. I've thought of one that works. So for a new player, and there's enough variety in them, anything Chaos Marine related.
Oh no!
I think it works. It works, doesn't it? Because there's so many different varieties there. You've got Tzeentch, you've got Nurgle, you've got Khorne. I quite like Khorne. Khorne's quite a cool army.
I tell you what does work quite well actually. If you're going to go that, you're quite right actually. If you go in Thousand Suns, because of their the relic, relic and 2 abilities to allow you to move or just jump across the board, it's really forgiving. If you've missed something, you could just jump a squad halfway across the board and take it and kind of pick up after yourself. So it's quite forgiving for new players.
There we go. Answer.
So I just want to sort of echo what a couple of you have said. I think if you're looking at starting into 40k, you kind of don't want anything too overcomplicated, especially if it's the first sort of hurrah into gaming, tabletop miniature gaming. You kind of don't want anything that's too complicated because you want to get to grips with it. And Space Marine, so I started back in 3rd edition, and everyone said to me, Carl, Space Marines, because they're unforgiving. You can mess up a few times and you'll still do okay from it. So I was like, I don't do what people tell me. I'm going to go Craftwood Elder, which is probably one of the hardest armies to play. So yeah, it was. But I would always recommend going for an army that you like the look of. So people tell you, "Oh, go read the lore, blah blah blah," but actually read the rules, blah blah blah. If you like the look of a model and you think, "Fuck me, that looks awesome, I want an army like that," then you go with it because it's your hobby. You can't. It's if you like the look of, I don't know, Tau, because they look like Japanese anime warriors or whatever, then you go for it. If you like the look of Tyranids, you think, shit, they remind me of aliens, then guess what? You go for that army. It's your hobby. You choose what you do, and don't be peer pressured into doing something you don't really want to, because at the end of the day, it's a mistake you'll make, and you'll end up selling it and getting disengaged with the hobby.
I like that, but I like every model. Every model looks good in its own right.
Another one.
Games Workshop has made a really bad model, apart from, according to John, the ones that jump off of things shouldn't be jumping off of things. But I do think... Yeah. But I don't think they, generally speaking, do you think they've made a bad model that don't look good?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, massive. So for me, back in the day, it would be Craftwood Elder Wraith Lord. Terrible looking model. Some people like them. I've got terrible looking model, in my opinion. Anybody else can think of anything?
Do you remember the original design for the Gene Stealers?
Yeah, the old Tyranny stuff is awful.
They just look like humans with just really big heads.
Strangely, they look like Chaz, actually.
Yeah, not far wrong.
Do we need to finish Chaz?
Even modern day models. I'm just trying to think of one that's come out recently that I'm not huge fan
Ragnar,
of.
Ragnar's pretty boring.
Whoa,
He's
whoa,
pretty
whoa,
cool.
whoa, whoa,
He's
whoa!
pretty
That's
cool.
Space
He's pretty
Marine
cool.
down.
Yeah.
Who put 10p in Dale?
As a new player, I don't think I've seen a model yet that I've gone, that looks disgusting. That
Oh,
don't
okay.
look-"
Just you wait.
Oh yeah, when I get more into it and I read more lore about armies and I read more into it, I'm sure I'll see one and I'll go, don't like that. But
Okay,
generally
so
speaking,
next question then. Tom, via Catherine, which I believe is his partner, if you had to self-isolate with one Blood Bowl team and had to play with them for the next few months, what team would it be? Right,
Oh,
I'm not going to go
halflings.
for the rank, so just shout out the team that you would choose.
Halflings. Who wouldn't want a group of hobbits sitting around with you? That'd be great.
Wankers, they killed 2 of my humans. Anybody else want to jump in?
Bretonians, just because it reminds me of original fantasy battle. That's the only reason.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, Dale.
Yeah, nailing this.
Anybody else want to jump in on that one?
Snotlings.
I just very faintly heard Phil say something. What did you say, Phil?
Snotlings, but he hasn't collected that.
Snotlings.
I don't know what that
Yes,
is. Is that a goblin?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the new
Yeah.
team they released, isn't it? They released new models or announced new models.
They're
They
the
look
new
amazing.
models.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
He hasn't collected that yet, and I think the question directed by Catherine was a way of finding out how many armies he can get rid of.
Maybe she's been sneaky, catchy monkey.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Let's not get our brother Tom in trouble. So it's an interesting question, and this is actually, where is it? Let me just find it. From Chaz, our mate with the convict haircut. Who should GW do as the next Primarch return for 40k?
Lehman Russ,
Oh, shit.
without a doubt. If I was actually going to say what I think would be best for the story and the lore, it would have to be Lionel Johnson.
Do we have Vulcan? Do we actually have one, or is that just a stand-in model that we got a few years ago?
Well, we don't have Vulcan. He's a Primarch, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what you just said, didn't you?
No, he said even Russ.
No, but what was your question?
Yeah, the only one they've got at the moment is Gilliman. There's the 30k
Gilliman.
models, but in 40k, Vulcan is somewhere in the warp at the moment.
Yeah. He's. I was thinking he hasn't come back, and we don't have a model for him. Surely. Yeah, I'd say Vulcan.
All I want to do is put it out there, right? And you can either go, great, it's your Rogue or Dawn.
Oh, for God's sake!
Imperial
Couldn't
Fist,
help himself,
the
could
man,
he?
the myth, the
Couldn't
legend.
help himself.
What?
Yes, but I agree. I totally agree with you.
Whoa! What's wrong with Dawn? He can build walls. He can go right we're under attack.
He's just a really
Let's
good.
build a wall.
He's a bricklayer.
He'd be like, fucking come on, Iron Warriors, break down this wall, you little buggers. Hey,
You've
come on,
just
let's
got a
have a
group of
go.
sisters going. Excuse me, sir. Can you just build me a clock tower? Why? No reason.
Crack on, you spacker. But after the heresy, Rogue or Dawn and Gilliman had a little bit of a scrap, didn't they? Gilliman was like, right, we're gonna bring it all down to codexes, and you can have X amount of duties. And Rogue or Dawn was like, go fuck yourself. Where were you when I was defending Terra? Oh wait, you're developing your own empire to give it the big guns. Okay, so
I think Horus.
he's dead. Shut up.
Horus is the one who cannot come back. No. He cannot come back. It is Horus because his soul's obliterated by the Emperor. That's the whole point. He cannot come back.
Don't want him to be dead. He was a cool guy.
He's not. Okay,
Mate,
so
he's rubbish in the end.
next question is from Stephen Smith, and this is an interesting question, and you ought to take this extremely seriously. So why is Steve not only the best Blood Bowl player at the club, but also the prettiest? Asking on behalf of Alistair Pring. So guys, thoughts on that?
Don't know who he is.
Because he is.
Oh, he's the ugly looking guy in the corner.
Ah.
He's the one Alistair Pring fancies, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure. Phil, any input? No, he's not there. Yeah,
I think Phil's just melted tonight. I do worry about him.
I think he's had too many cocktails.
Yeah.
I think on our lovely
Oh, wait, I'm here. I just
Are
think I've got
you?
a sunstroke.
Right, Phil's dead, guys.
Phil's ginger, and he shouldn't be allowed out in the sun.
I really shouldn't.
Can I just say, oh, okay, fine. Just carry on. I seriously damaged myself the other day. Phil didn't care. Nope, carry on.
condition known as ginger.
Did you?
You're not allowed in the sun.
So, would we say that Steve is not only the best Blood Bowl player down the club, but also the prettiest? Is that a common sort of? Is that what we're going for here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, go on.
Give him the ego stroke. Yeah, I like it. There you go, Stephen. You are the best Blood Bowl player down the GTGC, and also the prettiest. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the Blood Bowl players prefer 40k, as we know, Phil.
Yeah. And Tom said he was a great night player. Okay, so guys, very serious. Then we'll move on from the Q&A. And there's a couple that we haven't answered, but we need to. We've got timing issues because I keep getting messages from Luke. So a very big announcement. I announced it a little bit on our Facebook page the other day. So we'll quickly go on that. So Incom Gaming, who helped us at the very start of creating the Gloucester tabletop gaming community, gave us some good prices on mats, terrain, and all the sort of support and structure we might need to run a club, which is Nick, or Chip as he's more commonly known, who runs and owns and operates Incom in Cheltenham. Now, we have set up a little bit of a delivery service down to our club from Incom Gaming. So if you are looking to purchase anything from the Incom Gaming web store when the gaming club is back open, Sam, who is on the podcast, say hello, Sam. No. Whoop. Sam will collect it from Incom Gaming on a Monday and deliver it down to the club on Tuesday because he works in Gloucester. And you will be able to collect your goods from the gaming club on a Tuesday night, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Sam, and thank you very much for that, Chip, to arrange that for us.
Really good.
So literally all you have to do is go onto their website, go to the checkout, and there's an option to click GTGC collection. So that's all you have to do, and then Nick and Sam will do the rest, and as long as it's in stock and is available to pick up on Monday, Sam will graciously bring it down to the club. So if you want to buy him a pint and say thank you, you're more than welcome to do that, no problem at all.
Or just can somebody just let me win once at 40?
Do you have?
You're pushing
are they
it,
paying
Sam.
any postage, Carl?
No, there is no carriage at all.
Fantastic. So free
Look at
delivery, basically,
Yeah.
straight to the club, and you've got your stuff there waiting for you. So it's a win-win. So if people want to get spray paints and stuff, but they can't find them anywhere, because let's be honest, it's probably been quite difficult when we come out of all of this to find the stuff that you want. But Chip at Incom is fully aware of that and is on the ball. So yeah,
Absolutely. And then the other sort of news around about Incom Gaming, they are now the GTGC official sponsor. Whoa, what's that all about? Basically, what we want to do as a community is give back to the people that come to the club every Tuesday. So all you need to do is when you order your goods from Incom Gaming, Luke could put some links on all the relevant sites so that it's all accessed there, and there'll be a little bit of information about this as well. All you have to do at the checkout when it comes up, promo code, this is a big one, guys, make sure you listen to this, is type in GTCC podcast, and it will get you extra discount off your entire order. That's GTCC, that's in capitals, podcast, and you will get an extra discount on your order. And that's our Incom Gaming, and that's absolutely fantastic to do that for us. And that's us giving, absolutely incredible, mate. Thank you very much.
How's that spelled? So that's GTGCC podcast.
No, GTCC podcast.
Okay.
So it will change weekly. So I'll speak to Chip and we'll change it. So not only can you get discount off your overall order because you get discount from Incom anyway, you will also get, when the club reopens, free delivery on a Tuesday night. You can't ask much fairer than that, boys and girls. So we're trying to make the hobby cheaper for everyone that comes down to the club. And you don't necessarily have to come down the club to get that. If you're listening to this and you're in the UK, you can order it and use that code, no problem at all. So happy buying. If it's in stock, Chipper deliver it out and follow his company's operating to do that. Okay.
Carl,
Yes.
just before we move on, can I just ask us to go back to the Q&A one minute? Because
Sure.
Andy asked a very good question.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that one. Yeah, go on.
So Andy asked, how do you get out of a slump with hobbying, i.e. too much to paint, too much to build? And I think it's a very important question at the answer, because I'm sure 99% of our members and people listening will be in that slump.
Do you know how I do it?
Go.
I just pick up the paintbrush. I open up my Warhammer cupboard in my bedroom, and I won't lie to you because I have enough Warhammer in there to open up a GW shop. And I look at a model and I go, I'm going to paint that. I just pick it up and I self-motivate. And I get the brush in my hand and I start stroking. Wait, that sounded really weird. But yeah, that's basically what I do. I literally will self-motivate myself, go into my Warhammer cupboard and go, look, that model's been on my shelf for X amount. I'm just going to crack on with it. And that generally gives me the buzz to carry on and start planning the next phase of the hobby. I don't know how you guys do it, but that's how I do it.
Don't ask me how I do it, because I look at it and I think I'll sell that army. But in jokes aside, do you know what I generally do if I look at a model and I think, I can't bother to paint that? I go on Instagram. And the reason I go on Instagram is because there's some beautiful models on there, especially the GTGC Instagram. There's some beautiful models being shared by a lot of people in the club.
Yes.
And it gives me the inspiration to go, I want to paint like that, or I want to, that color scheme looks amazing. And then I try it. And as soon as I put the brush to the model, hours go by and you don't realize it because you've just forgotten about that. Oh, I can't be bothered to do it. And
it's like getting over that first hurdle, isn't it, Sam?
Massively.
And I mean, obviously we got the WhatsApp group for the club. So if you're listening to this and you're in our WhatsApp group and you're sat there going on great models and stuff, and you're sat there thinking, oh, can't be asked to do it. I'm just going to sit here in my white fronts and my wife beater and drink Stella all night.
I don't know why anyone would do that.
Pop into that
car's life.
Welcome to Cribs.
Just literally post on WhatsApp or Facebook and go, guys, I'm in a slump, help me. And the amount of response you'll get from our community is unreal. And there's so much support with what we do, and people
so
there to help you.
Because the amount of times, I mean, again, as a new player, and I've posted in there what you guys think, that you don't get slandered with painting 40k. You don't get put down because it's not about that. It's not about looking at people's individual skill levels. It's a lot of CNC, which is really good. There's a lot of people saying, actually, if you tried using this paint, or if you tried using, for example, I put in this Sicario Infiltrator that I put in a couple of days ago, and I had some great responses about using a metallic undercoat to really give that paint a shine. It made me then go and look and on YouTube, watch some videos, look on Instagram, and it now makes you want to paint the rest of my army because I'm like, I want to get that done. So I think, you're right there. In if you're in a slump, just shout out and say, guys, I haven't got the motivation. What do you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've seen something recently on YouTube which I think would be really good for Andy. So there's.
Okay, so I was starting to worry. Then I was about to give you a call.
I'm still alive. Have you guys heard of Cult of Paint?
Yes.
No.
So they come to Incom, they do masterclasses there. Well, because of the lockdown, they've said, right, we're going to do some stuff on YouTube for free.
Nice.
And I was watching a live stream yesterday evening where he was showing how to do some lighting effects on armor. And it looked so good, but he made it seem so simple to do. So I'd certainly recommend having a look at this on YouTube. I think he said he's going to release a free video every Friday, but he's also got a Patreon if you want to kind of contribute and see some more videos.
Cool, yeah.
But this looked really good, and it's an alternative. Sorry?
What was it called again? Sorry.
It's called Cult of Paint.
Okay.
I've noticed they've done a lot of sort of open lessons at Incom Gaming, haven't they, for people to go down and learn how to use airbrushes and stuff like that. It's really cool, man. It's again, it's that community spirit, isn't it? Getting people painting.
Can I just say a big shout out to all those people, the tabletop community in general, throughout the whole of the UK, throughout the whole of the world, have come together so well during this lockdown and offered so much to the people that need it. You know, for your mental health during lockdown, that it's massively received really well, I must say.
On that one, my one way of getting motivated is just to find something that's even less enjoyable and do that first, and then you just procrastinate by doing painting. I'm not sure that's a great way of living your life, but
I could do the glossing. Nah.
There is one last thing which Carl was meant to be going through. But, this is what we've been working on feverishly during the lockdown in the background of running the club. But as he's now gone, it looks like, and Phil is somewhere expired, I will take up the mantle on this one. So in the background, hey, there you go, he's back. In the background of the club for the last month or so, we've been planning for our return back after lockdown and what that's going to look like. And we want to make sure that when we do come back and the government says it's safe and everyone's fit and healthy and well, that we come back with an absolute bang. So instead of coming back with a straightforward, just normal club night or anything, we're going to hold a GTGC takes over the entire building and does something really special, a full open day. Everyone is welcome, whether you're a club member or not. We're going to be running, I think we've got 6 different games ready to go. So we're going to run our biggest ever game of 40k Apocalypse. It's going to be absolutely massive. Last time we got to about 20,000 equivalent points. I think we're going to try and get to 30,000 this time. Just see how huge we can run it. Titans on each side, running that way. We've got a Blood Bowl open tournament that will be running, which Tom is very kindly running for us. We're going to take over the entire site. Everyone who's listening to this, whether you're a member of the club or even better, if you're not a member of the club and you're coming down for the first time, travelling down to Gloucester, would love to have you. It'll be a great way of seeing out this, frankly, pretty rubbish first half of the year with something really quite special as an open day for tabletop gaming.
Sounds amazing.
It's going to be out of this world, and we're getting support from all aspects of the club. So the board gamers are going to be doing a massive board game triathlon. Is the best way to describe it. So games throughout the day. We're hoping to make the event completely free for people to just come down and play. But that's depending on how good our negotiations. People that we need to talk to. But it's about getting back with a bang. And having some fun rolling with guys.
Instead of bring a bottle like you normally would to a party, is bring a night.
Oh no! If you only bring one night, you're doing something. You've got to bring. I mean, but let's be honest. From your point of view, Sam, you've got to bring all of your armies, and then you can play on both sides then, and kind of go that way about it.
I mean, to be fair, I've got 6,000 points of custodes now, so that's near 10,000.
I mean, that's more than the Emperor's got. You know that, right?
Probably, and 1,000 of AdMech, and I'll get a few knights as well, I think. So then I'll make that 10,000.
I'll bring the meat and veg to the game.
Nice.
I want to know where this is going.
Look, absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Dale, for coming on and joining us as guest. Hopefully we get you on even more because your dulcet tones really keep us going. But hey, guys, have fun out there. Be safe. There was one thing. No, I won't mention it. Keep safe. Keep social distancing. Don't do anything stupid that puts you or your family in any sort of trouble. And enjoy your hobby. And absolutely fantastic. Thank you for joining us.